excited to be here. I'm gonna let some of you hop on. Go ahead and share where you're from in the comment section. I'm so excited. It's Friday. Yay. Yes. So I'm so excited to be on here and be with you guys this afternoon. So my name is Stephanie Richardson, for those who don't know me. I actually have been a coach for 11 years. Last month was my 11-year anniversary. The reason I became a coach was because I come from a long line of obesity and diabetes. And as I started to raise my kids, I kind of saw that maybe they were going to kind of have the same issues that my family had. And I just knew that the cycle was going to break with me. And so I became a coach 11 years ago, and I have had great success with Beachbody programs and really have been able to maintain my weight and not be like 250 pounds, which is where my body probably should be at least right now. And so about a year ago, my father passed away, and about 6-8 months before that, we moved back to Texas. And just during that time of stressful moving back and my father passing away, I just was finding myself with, some tiredness, adrenal fatigue, my brain fog. I was just having a lot of issues. And so I kept gaining weight. My weight just kept coming on and on and on. And the things that had worked for me before weren't working anymore. So in August, I started to seek some help with some functional medicine doctor in town, and just to try to figure out like what is going on with my body. So I spent thousands of dollars on testing and doctors, and I just was really wanting to find answers. I didn't want to go down the path of do fad diets or whatever. But let me tell you, they were very tempting at that point because I was very, very desperate. I just needed something to try to get this weight off, and I didn't feel good, and I had brain fog, and I just was pretty miserable. So it took some time to start the process and get all the test work, all the blood work back and the tests done. And so I started, the doctor told me that I needed to take $800 worth of supplements per month and do a gluten-free, dairy-free diet. And I started that in October, mid-October. 2 weeks later, I was at the leadership conference in Vegas, and I was presenting, I was interviewing one of my very, very successful coaches, Amber Bailey, on stage. And I remember sitting in that seat freaked out because I was going to have to go on stage and just go back on stage and be in front of all the Beachbody coaches looking like a fraud, because I was at the heaviest weight I'd ever been, and I was just miserable. All these thoughts, kept going through my mind, like, you're not good enough. Like, how can you say you're a coach? How can you, get on stage and, you're a fraud? And something that I was so passionate about is, ending the trend of obesity, starting with me. And I just felt like a failure. I felt like a fraud. And my belief system was just totally I was just in a mess. So I got up on stage and, got through it. But at leadership, they had this video of Alana sharing about 2B mindset. And I was bawling, crying, because let me tell you, I knew that was the answer. I come from a long line of diabetes and obesity, and what I watched the loved ones, I saw them lose and gain 80, 100 pounds over and over and over with every single fad diet out there, and only to come back with shame and feeling miserable. And that's where I was. I was feeling miserable. I felt the shame that my family members had. And the 10 and a half years up to that was to prevent that. And here I was sitting there so shameful for where I was in my body and feeling unhealthy. And so I found Alana and I tracked her down. I stalked her and begged her to be in the coach test group. And so I'm sure she thought I was crazy, but I just knew this was the answer. I knew when I heard about 2B Mindset, I was like, this is going to be huge, because I had never seen, my family members going through all these different diets and fad diets and all this stuff. I saw them do all these different things, but I never saw any results because they didn't deal with the mind, the reason behind why were they eating and why were they gaining and losing all that weight. It was something in their mind. It was something going on. There was some reason, an emotional reason why they were eating. It wasn't because they weren't on the right diet or they weren't on the right meal plan or the right nutrition plan. It was because there was something in the mind. So I knew this was the answer. Anyway, fast forward 10 days after meeting Alana, I ended up in the hospital with a stroke-like symptoms. I had a tingling on the right side of my face, and my body ended up spending the night in the hospital. $23,000 later, they tried all the tests and there wasn't anything. They just said, you need to get off all those supplements that doctor put you on. And my husband said, no more. We're not doing this crazy doctor stuff, all those supplements. We're just going to do something healthy. And 3 days later, I started 2B Mindset. Let me tell you guys, it totally changed my life. So far, I have lost 21 pounds in the past 5 months. And I no longer suffer with brain fog or fatigue after I work out, and I feel amazing and my confidence is back. And I no longer feel like a fraud coach. I feel like I can legitimately help my customers have, find weight loss, find themselves again, just like I have. And I am so excited about this program. And you should be just as excited as me. In fact, I shared this story on stage last week in Mexico, or this week in Mexico, about I just got back from, the Mexico retreat or the Success Club retreat, and I love shopping. I was strutting around with my new body. Like, I don't know if I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen it previewed, that I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer. And I was like, I feel like her. I don't know if you've seen the previews, but she hits her head and she wakes up and she thinks she's super hot. That's me. Like, I just feel like I'm super hot now. And I have just this confidence. And it's not because I'm a certain size, but just because I feel like I am so confident, because I am never, ever, ever going to have another before photo, ever. And I know that now. I have the tools to never have a before photo. And as a coach, we do start to feel like a fraud if we, continue to have these before photos, right? And we're like, why do we keep gaining and losing and gaining and losing? And it's because we haven't taken care of the things in our mind. And so it has made all the difference in the world. And I know a lot of coaches are like, what is it? Like, what is 2B Mindset? Like, I don't get it. And it's just a nutrition program that also deals with the mind. And it talks about, it gives you some tools to be able to overcome your emotional eating. Okay. And so the reason that we can't share more about what the actual 2B plan is because if I shared it with you, you'd be like, that's so simple. Like, I could totally do that. But it's in the process of doing it that you are able to, in a community group, in the group that I was in, I was able to process through the group how to overcome my emotional eating and my bad relationship with food. Okay. And so that's why it's so simple, but yet you definitely need the support. So who is this program for? I think it's for every single coach and every single customer, but definitely those customers who tend to yo-yo diet, who are in a plateau, those customers who are intimidated by working out. You absolutely can work out on this program, and it it is extra credit. So, if you want to be the star pupil, then you exercise on this program. I personally did not exercise a lot at the beginning, probably for the first couple months, because of my relationship with food. I felt like I needed to work on my relationship with food first, because if you're like me, I felt like if I worked out, I could have a cookie. And so that is not the way it works. And so I had to take care of my relationship with food before I could incorporate exercise, and I could do that successfully. So it's for anyone that's over 50 pounds, because when you weigh over 50 pounds, exercise is very, very uncomfortable. And so maybe you want to just start with their nutrition. Also, it's hard to start an exercise program and a nutrition program. So this is a great beginner starting point for anyone who has over 50 pounds to lose. As far as coaches who should go through this, I believe every single coach should go through this program. And the reason is, even if you don't struggle with emotional eating or yo-yo dieting or whatever, and that's just not an issue that you have, you're most likely running into customers who do deal with that. And I know a lot of my coaches don't necessarily struggle with yo-yo dieting or emotional eating, but they don't really understand what their customers are going through. And so this is a great opportunity for them to understand what their customers are going through. But also for you coaches who are like me, who feel like a fraud, who feel like a failure, this is a great opportunity for you to really, really get your confidence back. I know for me, it's just done amazing things for my confidence. And I want every coach to feel like they have a beach body. Carl's been talking about this. And a beach body is not like six-pack abs, but a beach body is someone who is exercising, who's drinking their shake, who is improving their diet and on that journey. That is what a beach body is, and has the confidence. And so that is definitely what this what coaches I feel like should be a part of this. A lot of people have sought outside diets and meal plans and that sort of thing, because what was working before isn't necessarily working. And I'm 44 years old. So what was working for me in my 30s wasn't working anymore in my 40s. And that's a very, very common. And so there's a lot of people that are also struggling with what used to work is not working anymore. So how am I going to launch this to my customers? So I'm just sharing my journey online and Insta stories, and I'm sharing my journey and what I'm doing. I share what I'm eating. I share, photos of what I'm eating. I share that I'm drinking a lot of water, and I just kind of breadcrumb what my journey has been like. I have put my customers in a holding group. And in that holding group, it's called Fighting the Food Battle, because I believe that I've actually won the food battle, and I believe that all my customers will be able to win the food battle once and for all. So I share just different tips on water tips that I've learned doing 2B Mindset. I kind of teach them a little bit about vegetables, and you'll learn in 2B Mindset why that's important. I just share just different helpful tips. I share a personal development book that has helped me, and that is anything by Brene Brown has been very helpful. And then also a book called faith-based book called Made to Crave by Lisa Tikernos. I can't say her name. Anyway, that's another book that's been really, really helpful for me in my journey. And so I suggest them to start with personal development, start working with their mind, start drinking their water, start tracking what they're eating, and just start, kind of learning a little bit about who they are and their relationship with food. So what I'm going to do with my customers is I'm actually not going to start them on May 2nd, even though that's when it is launched. I'm actually going to be hosting a coach group for my coaches in my downline. And I actually did this with one of my coaches. I was able to do the test group with one of my customers, and my coaches, Cody Mitchell, and Kobe Mitchell and I have been doing this, and we're going to be hosting this together. And we're going to be hosting this group with our coaches first. We're going to be kind of breaking it down for them in kind of a speedier version. And we're going to actually start on April 29th with our coaches, and then they will purchase the 2B Mindset on the 2nd. And then we're going to run them through 2B Mindset for 2 weeks until we open it up on May 17th to our customers. Here's why. This program is very, very different than any other program that we have done at Beachbody. It's really going to challenge you to be open to doing new things, right? I know a lot of us like to hang on to things, we're like, but I like this and I like this. Well, guess what? Maybe those things that you're hanging on to aren't working anymore, right? And so maybe it's really time to start opening our minds to new things, okay, and new approaches. And that's where I was at a point of desperation. I was like, I've got to make this work, right? Because I've tried everything else and I'm ready to, I don't care if she would have told me to eat dirt, I probably would have done it at that point, right? But a lot of people in the group weren't at the point where I was. And they wanted to hang on to things. And what she said, they weren't ready for, right? And so I want us to go through that as coaches together. Go through those questions. Go through those, kind of uncomfortable moments of, releasing things that we need to release, right? And working on our own mindset before we are able to help our customers with their mindset, right? So that's our goal. And on May 17th, we will start working with this with our customers. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I wasn't in the test group, Stephanie, so I can't do that, but yet you can, because Alana is starting her own office hours on May 2nd, maybe May 3rd, somewhere around there. And she is starting her own office hours for all coaches, where you're going to get to have her live, and she will come on and answer any questions you might have. And she is such an integral part. When I'm out to eat, I don't necessarily think about the meal plan. I think about the things that she taught me about my mind and why I'm eating certain things and what the purpose of the food is. And that's where I've had the shift. Because we all know how to eat correctly, right? We know, but there has to be a mind shift if we're going to make something happen long-term, right? So anyway, that's how I'm going to be launching this to my customers and my coaches. And I also believe that this is going to be huge for all of our going forward in community. What's going to be most important in this group is that you establish a really important community group. You can do this like through a Zoom. So never has support been more important than with 2B Mindset. Okay. So and it's not like dial it in and post things on your app or your tracker app or your Facebook group. This is going to be really important that you have weekly Zoom calls with your customers, okay? This is not a dial it in, sell something and leave them kind of thing. They are going to need your support throughout the whole thing. The other thing is this is a great opportunity for you to gather your friends, invite them over and cook a meal with them and show them how to cook a 2B Mindset meal and share what you're doing and invite them to join you. And have that community and get together once a week or every so often to support each other. You can start groups like fit clubs, but for nutrition, like they do with Weight Watchers. Over 1 million people a week, 1 million people a week in the United States and around the world go to weekly meetings, weekly like Weight Watchers Slimming World meetings. Did you know that? So it's a perfect opportunity for you to get together a local group. And we're going to be sharing some more as it comes up. We're going to be sharing some more ways of how you can build community. This is such a great way for you to build community. If you don't love building your business on social media and you love getting together with people, this is an amazing opportunity. People go to group fitness classes for a reason. It's for the community. It's the same thing with this group. So there's just going to be opening up so many options. This is also going to open up a whole new world of people for us, people that are intimidated intimidated by our workout programs, who don't want to work out, who don't like to work out, or maybe love going to the gym, but need a nutrition program, because nutrition is 80% of the battle, right? So this is going to open up a whole new group of people. And also for the people who have said no to you, this is a great opportunity for you to go back and say, hey, I know you told me that you wanted to lose 20, 30, 50 pounds, and I still want to help you with that. We have this new nutrition program that I'm starting, and I'm doing it myself. And I'm so excited because I've seen the results, and I've heard about how this has just helped people never, ever, ever have to have a before photo, never have to start over. And I'm excited about that. And I'd love for you to join me. And this is your perfect opportunity to go back to those no's, because really probably the reason they said no to you wasn't because of money, because we all know that money objection can always be overcome, right? And they can sell something on eBay. They can, have a garage sale. They can save a little money, to make the money to pay for our programs. But usually it's something else that's holding them back. And the thing that's holding them back is most likely, I don't want to fail again. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried all these different things and they haven't worked. I don't want that to happen again. And that's why they've said no to you. And you can go to them and say, you know what? I have this amazing, amazing opportunity for you that you will never have to yo-yo again, because you are going to be able to change your mind and your relationship with food, and you are going to feel way more confident. And you're going to be able to start exercising eventually, and you're going to feel like a new person. And so anyway, I'm obviously very, very excited about this program. And I just hope that you guys are too. I hope that on May 2nd, you get started with Alana's group. If you want to invite people to coaching, you can do that and have them in Alana's group. If you invite people to coach so that they can be in Alana's group, I would encourage you to say, hey, you can be a part of Alana's group if you're a coach, a discount coach, a preferred customer, however you want to call it. But I will allow you to become a discount coach or preferred customer and be in this group if you will say, hey, I'm going to pay it forward to someone else after I do it. And that's how we want to do it. We don't want to just sign someone up. Hey, you can be in this group if you sign up to be a coach. You don't have to do anything, but you can get in the group. But if you sign them up and say, hey, I want you to be a part of this group with Alana. It's this private group, coach only access. But I want to ask you that if you do this, that you do me a favor and pay it forward to at least one person, because it's going to not only change your life, but it will change your friend's life. So anyway, I think that's all I had to share. Thank you so much for being a part of today's call. I hope you are as excited as I am about 2B Mindset, because this could be huge. This could be bigger than Weight Watchers. And by the way, Weight Watchers is a $1.7 billion company. And we have the opportunity to make 2B Mindset bigger than Weight Watchers, because Weight Watchers is only a program, right? The program that doesn't deal with the underlying issues, the mind, the emotional eating. And this has everything. This takes care of the emotional eating. This takes care of the exercise. This takes care of the nutrition plan. It's all of it. And so we have the opportunity, but it's going to take us believing in it, us being willing to let go and learn and be open-minded in order to see change, not only in our lives, but our customers' lives. So thank you so much for allowing me to be on here. I am so excited to see your results as you do 2B Mindset. Bye.